Hi everyone, I'm Nikki, the maple farmer, and everyone has been asking why hasn't there been any videos of Boxler Maple this year. So today, I am riding along with the founder and owner of Boxler Maple, my dad, going to collect a load of sap. So we're going to ask him so many questions.
Edit all that out. Top of that truck when it's full, it's straight out to here and you will be sold. Here is that.
All right, where are we heading?
Going on one of our longer trips to our new woods. Right now we're probably on the worst, roughest road in New York State. I don't know where everyone's tax dollars are going, but it definitely is not going in the pavement.
And the good news is that the chiropractors around here have a job security.
Yeah, about 10 miles up the road, if you can get there.
How's the season been?
The season has been not as good as we wished, but we are still going, and we'll end up better than we thought we would anyhow. It's not been great, let's put it that way. But we got our heads above water. Neighbors are doing a little plowing. It's getting time to pull the spouts.
What's been the average sugar content this year of your sap?
Anywhere from, we started at 1%, jumped to 1.5 the first couple weeks in, and then we actually hit 1.8, 1.9 for a few days, and then after that it fell right back down to 1.2, 1.3. It's kind of been there all year. So we're getting a lot of sap, and it's taking a lot to make a gallon of syrup. The ROs have been working overtime.
And for me, I haven't tested the sugar content on my sap the entire year, but the ones I did test, I was right around 2%, 1.8, pretty much for my season. But my season, I didn't start as early or run as late as my dad.
Why Nikki hit 2% is because she does not have vacuum on her trees. But when she puts vacuum on, she's going to find out she's going to get a lot more sap, and the sugar content is definitely going to drop, at least around here.
So for my 9 taps of trees, I got about 2 gallons of maple syrup so far that I made. So if I had vacuum, I probably would have gotten more syrup overall. But I do have, like Dad said, a higher sugar content. Although I think I did lose a good amount of syrup during my filtering process, because my filter, I'm just using the felt filters, and a lot of it kind of gets clogged and gunked up in there. So I try to get as much as I can out of it, but that's where I ended right now. About 2 gallons of maple syrup for 9 taps.
Now to come back from what she just said, our new installation this year, we're going to be over 40 gallons of sap per tap, probably closer to 45 before we finish up. And our older tubing, which needs to be redone, is probably going to end up in the mid-20s. And we always like to end up around 30 gallons per tap. And if we get there, that's a pretty good season.
Where are we? I just asked this question, he did the whole thing, and I forgot to hit record.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll get it right for the second time. We're at a new location. New install this year. About 7,500 taps here. We don't have electric here. Running a generator, portable generator. Electric company just got the news a few days ago that they're going to be installing it, the poles and stuff, shortly. So, but a little too late for this year. What it is, it is. Our silos there, we had to resort to 2 plastic 10,000 gallon poly tanks for this year. We tried to order a 30,000 gallon silo, but it never got here in time, so next year. We plumbed them from the bottom. We've got a 12-inch PVC pipe running underground so they wouldn't freeze, and that seemed to work all right for this year. Put a wash system, spray ball system on coming in from the top to wash it. That didn't turn out too good because the first time we picked up the sap, we had a smaller pump, and when we turned it on, the thing was kind of hee-hawing on and off, so it surged, and my son don't believe it, but it was a 2-inch ball valve on the outside, plastic, and it shut, and it blew all the piping apart. So that's the way it is for this year. This is supposed to be on top, not no more. There's the ball valve. There's the ball valve that was the culprit. He said I didn't open it, but I know it was. The wind must have been blowing and shut it on me. 14 minutes, that's full. When I start pumping them, I can time them. I know each spot how long it takes to fill it. And it's 14 minutes to fill at this spot. The pump pumps about 415 gallons a minute. We're at the 8-minute mark. The roadway getting in here, we had to back down about 1,500 feet. And when the frost started coming up, it came right apart. There's about 150, 200 ton of stone that we put on this year. And once he dries up, we'll straighten up a little more, but another 300 ton here. Yesterday was the first day that we did not boil and the sap ran. I always tell everyone, if we're not boiling, we're done. But that was our exception. We got a little freeze last night, got down to about 28 degrees, and so far it's probably ran about 5,000 gallons since it thawed out this morning, and so that's been about 6 hours. That's on 7,500 taps. Okay.
The amount that just overflowed is probably my entire sap collection for the season of my trees at home.
Might come back to that is I'd have to crawl up and down this tank 400 times a year, and if I put that into perspective, that amount of sap that I lose probably equals the 2 gallons of syrup, and I don't think you could pay anyone $100 to do that. And besides that, my luck, I'd climb up and be in a hurry, slip and fall, get my leg caught in the wrong, hang upside down, snap my leg off of my knee, hanging by the threads of my pants until someone found me and be laid up for the rest of my life. So that's why I don't do it. I give that up after the first year.
That is quite the description of
But
why.
that's the truth.
Why he doesn't, I don't know, just very descriptive, very descriptive.
You should have asked, how's things going around here? And I should have said, well, things were going good until someone borrowed half of our extension ladder out of our woods, and I don't know if they plan on returning it, but it'd be awfully nice of them, because we probably need it more than they do. I'm going to wash this release, or try to. We like these D&G sap extractors a lot. We got a lot of nice features on them. One of them is spray ball in there. Does a pretty good job. At the end of the year, we got to take them apart and scrub them for sure, but it's doing all right. If this wasn't in a heated building, the check valve would be shut, and the drain is on the outer side of it where there's no vacuum, and then we can drain it if it's gonna get cold so it doesn't freeze and split. Right now, since it's in the building, we just leave it open so that it always constantly drains it every time. It's not hurting nothing. We put a flow meter in every woods, keep track of exactly what's going out of them so we can tell how each one is producing compared to the next and what we have to do next year to improve it. The weaker woods are going to get redone. Do what we can every year to freshen them up. Put new tubing in, drop lines, or else rip everything out 100% and start from scratch. The vacuum is down a little bit. We try to keep it always 27 plus. Both of these releasers are just under 27, or at 27 right now. We got two different systems in this woods. We split it in half just for the simple reason, if something happens, we don't lose all the vacuum. We only had half of the woods till we get here to correct the problem. Seems to be working really good. We like bush pumps a lot. Like I said, the woods is split in half. They seem to be really good, create good vacuum, reliable, but they're not cheap. Vacuum pumps go to the two moisture traps, which then the vacuum feeds the releases. These releasers, they have two pumps in each one. There's a backup, so that way, same thing. One goes down. The only time it ever happens is at night or on a weekend. We can't get parts. And not only that, we need parts like right now, not an hour later. So we got spare or double of everything laying around to get us going. When it's running good, both of these releasers are hammering away to the point where the pump taking it from the tank can hardly even keep up. At times you look at it and you think it's losing ground. But it's April 7th. A lot of people have already pulled their taps and quit. Looking at the weather here, tonight it's going to be 21 and 30 tomorrow for high, not even going to run. Then we're looking at 20, 28 for lows again. But the problem is, the trees are starting to bud. Being this is new tubing, even this late in the season when our other woods are starting to slow up, we're still trying to get 1.5 gallons per tap out of here today. My son Warren, he's the plumber and the mastermind on the electric. Does an awesome job. The main trees, as I consider, the corner trees like this it's holding up the world, will not get drilled into. But right now it can't fall over because we're holding it up from both directions, I should say.
So here you can see kind of how steep some of the ravines are in the woods.
This ain't nothing. You go in the back, you gotta be part billy goat, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. See the ravines? You're taking a pic, I don't think you can even tell really.
Yeah, you can't tell how steep that is. That's really steep.
This is basically the first sap ladder we ever put in. There was a big hole, crater-like. Everything flowed down in the hole in the section of the woods. It was the only way to get it out. Turned out pretty good. We put a spin seal in for every 5/16 lateral that ran into that 1-inch pipe. So each line is taking care of 1 lateral of taps, which consists of 3 to 5 taps per line. 1-inch lines coming to the sap ladder, and from there it's sucking it up overhead. We want to leave this trail open for the 4-wheelers, and also so my wife and I and my daughter hopefully can do some horseback riding through here. Anyhow, it goes overhead and drops into a 1-inch line, which goes down probably another 500-600 feet, and it goes into our 1.5 inch dry and wet line. Oop, there's a spin seal I dropped in the snow. Just made myself 75-80 cents. Okay, go.
Thank you for riding along with us. We are heading back to the shanty now. If you guys have any questions about Boxler Maple, drop them below. Maybe I'll be able to convince Warren to do a video with me this year. It's been tough, so if you guys have questions for him, you might have to hold tight for a while because getting him on film is proving to be very difficult. But if you have questions, drop them below and we'll be sure to get to them. Dad can't find the right words to say.
Like I said, this tree is like the rock. Nope, that ain't it. The resale edge. The only thing new with us is we all got a year older and our bones ache a little more. That's on some days, but most generally we're ready to go. Oh, I'm dead. That's what we got.